What is up, YouTube? YouTube! Mr. King coming at you live from the studio. Here are the questions for the day. Please pause the video now and answer them. Next, just a reminder, so specific heat is how much heat or energy it takes to heat up 1 gram of something by 1 degree. We usually use this notation, joules per gram per degree. So like, for example, if the specific heat of turkey is 3.4 joules per gram per degree and beef is only 2.8 joules per gram per degree, turkey would take up longer to cook. Turkey would take longer because you need more energy to get it as hot than you would beef. Yep. Next, I will release the quiz retake tomorrow. The average score was 12 out of 15. Okay, so just some review from Friday. What you're going to do is go to classwork, Friday, calorimetry notes. Okay, we're going to finish this today. Yep, on Friday, you should have gone all the way down to the second last problem right here. That's where everyone should be. That second last problem right here. Okay. So remember, Q equals MCAT. What that means is the amount of energy something has is Q in joules is equal to mass, how heavy something is in grams, times specific heat, C, times delta T. Delta T is the change in temp. T is for temperature, delta, the triangle, means change. So to find out how much energy something has, you multiply mass times specific heat times change in temp. Okay, we did this problem last Friday. Here is the next question. So let's say if I use 100,000 joules of energy to heat up my 500 gram steak, how hot will my steak get if it starts out at 20 degrees? The specific heat of steak is 2.2 joules per gram per degree. So the first thing you always need to do for these problems is out of the formula, Q equals MCAT, what do you already know? What 3 letters do you already know? And then what letter do you need to find out? So that's the first step. Try and pause the video now. Think, what letters do you already know from the problem? Do you know Q? Do you know M? Do you know C? And do you already know delta T? Okay. The next note, we do have Q. We have Q, that is 100,000 joules. We also have M, 500 grams. And we also have C, 2.2 joules per gram per degree. Now, next, what letter do we still need to find out? What letter do we need? So now, once we have that, you should have noticed we needed delta T. So now, we need to rearrange this equation. So right now, the equation isn't useful. We need delta T by itself. When you put something by itself, that's what you're solving for. So we need to get rid of this M times C to get delta T alone. How you do that, you have to do some algebra. So to get delta T alone, you need to divide M times C from both sides. The reason why you divide is because you have to undo this multiplication. So the final formula should look like this. By dividing M times C, you have to keep them together in parentheses. You should end up with delta T. The change's temp is equal to the total energy divided by the mass times C. Okay. So that's the formula you should use. Since you're solving for delta T, it's alone. Now all you have to do is plug in the numbers that you already know. If you don't have a calculator handy, you can Google calculator. Cool, and then plug in the numbers. So we know Q is 100,000. So 100,000, 2, 3, divided by M, which was 500 grams, times specific heat, which is 2.2. So 90.9 is the change in temp. So that steak is getting around 91 degrees hotter. But my final question was, how hot is the steak going to get? So you have to do one more thing. Now that we have delta T, you have to get the final temp. The steak was in the fridge, so it started at 20 degrees. Now think, how hot is the steak now? What you want to do, add 20 plus your delta T. That is the final answer. The steak will end up being 110 degrees. Yep, I'm going to summarize how we did that. So here was my original equation. The first step, you need to find out what you have, what letters you have, and then what you need. Then you rearrange the equation to find out what delta T is equal to. So we divided M and C from both sides to get delta T alone. And then we plugged in Q and M and C. And then once we got delta T, we added it to 20 degrees to finally find out how hot that steak is going to be. Yep, here's the summary of my work. This would have been like 100% on a test because you will have a test question on this. Last thing, answer this in your notes. All right, after you do that, please turn in your notes. Just explain why do your feet burn on sand but not in the water. And then go to Monday. There is an exit ticket that is worth points. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yep, after you do the notes, please take this attendance survey. It is worth points. Good luck. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.